Today is podcast recording day. Now, every podcast starts with an idea, a thought, an idea worth playing with. And today I'm going to be using my very own idea to value system, the one that I teach to other people, to turn an idea into something valuable, into something tangible, into a podcast. I'll share why it's important to be effective first, and then how I use AI to make that more efficient. I know, I bet you didn't ever expect this AI skeptic to be using AI, but I use it to make that workflow efficient, never to create my own content. I'll also share the very workflow that I use with all of the tools so that you can see how I go from idea to value. Now, just to prefix this video, my original effective process, remember we're trying to be effective first at delivering the things that we want to do to the right quality, to the right value, to the right expectations. So it pays to be effective first. So this effective process was taking anywhere between 1 to 2 days. With AI helping now, and obviously me developing the skills in podcasting, I've got this down to about 1 to 4 hours, depending on how long the episode is. So everything always starts with an idea, something that I want to share, an idea that I think is worth playing with. I strive to never lose an idea, which is why I always carry around a notebook. I write everything down. I capture it in the notebook. I capture it using Apple Notes. I capture it using scraps of paper, post-it notes, index cards, back of the hand. I capture everything. I never want to lose any of these ideas. They may be partially formed, just a seed, an observation, or a fully fledged episode. Eventually, everything ends up in Trello. Trello is my idea capture board. Hundreds of ideas waiting to morph into something tangible. I peruse, I review, and I select the idea that I think wants bringing to life for this week's episode. So I choose the idea, I am invested. I'm going to invest my time, my energy, and my attention in bringing this idea to life. Next up, I need to build an activity set, and through the course of being effective at building and creating podcasts, I simply use a Trello checklist, which is all of the things that I need to do to take this idea and turn it into something valuable. I go for a walk, I potter, I make a cup of tea, I take photos, I procrastinate, I type, I just leave the idea to percolate in my mind to become a fully fledged podcast. Sometimes the muse strikes straight away and I know exactly what I'm going to say. But if I don't, I take time away just to let the idea surface, the content come forth so that I can get into Google Docs and give myself an outline. And usually when making a cup of tea, I have a fully fledged idea. I have in my mind what it is that I want to say. Now it's just a case of getting that into Google Docs. Power this idea up using the power-ups within Trello to automatically create a Google document. Now Now is the creative action. I add structure, I add frame, I add talking points. I flesh it out enough to get going, enough to riff off when I'm recording, but I very rarely script them. It's an outline so that I can add the goodness, the talking points, the key elements, so that when I'm recording, I don't miss anything. Now it's time to record. Toner mic, iPad or print out of the outline, GarageBand, time and space. Sure, there's probably better tools out there than GarageBand, but I know it, I like it, it does the job, and it's free with the Mac. Record, stop, redo, berate myself, record again, keep going, get that episode nailed. It's now time to edit. The track is laid down. Now I've got to get rid of the gasps, the mistakes, the errors, the bits that I don't need to include, that don't add to the point of the episode. Again, I stick with GarageBand. I like it, I know it, I'm using it, it does the job, it's free. This is where I get lost in the flow. I love editing podcasts, videos, books, you name it. I lose myself in this myriad of complexity as I take an idea and turn it into something tangible. This is the bit I really enjoy, the creative action. Nothing fancy, no music, probably should, maybe that's something for the future. Export the file to WAV into Dropbox. Same structure for every episode, keeping it nice and clean. Dropbox is simple, it's easy to use, it's backed up on all my devices. I can work therefore from anywhere. Now it's time for AI. This is a new step. This is an efficiency gain that helped me go from idea to value in a shorter amount of time. Not only is it more efficient, but it boosts the quality of the podcast. Step Forward Auphonics gives me a production-ready MP3 with balanced audios and hums and hisses and stuff removed. It's AI audio engineering wizardry. It pops out a file back into Dropbox. Keep it nice and secure and backed up. Now it's time to host. Step Forward Transistor.fm. Simple, clean, elegant, wonderful, really, really impressed with Transistor. I upload the new cast, but I hold off publishing it. So I save it as draft, and now it's time for a little bit more AI to make this effective process a little bit more efficient. Time for an AI generated transcript. It's got multiple uses. It's good for listeners that just want to read the episode, to see my words rather than hear them. But it's good for one more thing. I open it, give it a quick edit with the names, I export it, copy that text, and then I let ChatGPT generate me some show notes. I'm still working out how to prompt ChatGPT, I'll be honest, but so far it's given me some pretty good results. What it gives me back needs a bit of a human touch, so I go through and edit, make it sound a little bit more like me, but the bare bones of the structure and the things to include, wonderful, wonderful saving of time. Time to schedule or publish this, but before I do, there's just one more step. Then I move into Ghost, which is where I host my website. Time to embed the cast, if it makes sense, with one of the existing articles. Might write a new article for it, might not bother and just let the podcast live on its own. I started this workflow with no AI at all and not really a grasp of the tools that I was using. Just me and my skills developing and learning how to become effective at producing podcasts that meet my standard, that meet my expectation, that take an idea and turn it into something that I can share with the world. Once effective, I found ways to learn how to use the tools better. I then brought in some AI elements to boost the quality and to shave off significant portions of time. But I also became more dialed in, more committed, more professional, more invested in this here's an idea worth playing with podcast, so that I can take ideas and I can share them with the world. And that journey helped to make the process effective first. Then I got better, quicker, smoother, faster at going from idea to value, shrinking the amount of time, energy, and attention so that I can take an idea and I can turn it into value. After all, there's no point in becoming efficient if the process is ineffective to start with. There is very little point in making something ineffective more efficient. So that's how I use my idea to value business system that I teach and coach to businesses, organizations, solopreneurs, but I use that very same process for my own creative work, for my own business work, as I embark on this journey of trying to go from idea to value smoothly, quickly, and effectively. I hope that's been helpful, informative, insightful. So if you are interested in the idea to value system, there is a course designed for people in the workplace, 26 different principles, all in video format, with a beautiful companion guidebook based off the Reader's Digest repair manuals. I use that as inspiration for the design. Those things are magical, they're beautiful, lovely. I'm going to do a video on those at some point. You can find all of that and more at my business website, which is cultivatedmanagement.com. Thank you for watching this video on Creative Soul Projects. Hit that like button, subscribe if you like it, and with that, I shall catch you in the next episode.